And then at some point I was like, okay, hold on a second, I have to prioritize.
It's too easy to add features, right? Searching through fonts is something that designers and creatives in general do daily, sometimes more than once a day. And yet, it seems like the default tools aren't quite built to support it. Alexander made Font Finder to fix that. It's a fast, keyboard-first font explorer that's made by and for designers. I had a chat with him where he shared some insight into how he made it happen with Glaze. So you built this really cool app with Glaze called Font Finder. Where did this idea come from?
I guess it came from my process. There's this exercise when I would just create editorial style looking page in Figma that has a lot of fonts and it has all the styles, but actually I would present it in a contextual way. And I would try to do a bit of font pairing and just quickly switching through the fonts just to see how they work next to each other. That kind of workflow was inspired from very old school, even pre-Figma times workflow when I was working like in Photoshop, doing like web design. So I thought this could be a cool thing to build in Glaze.
So I think anybody who's designed anything, they have gone through this process of like flicking through the fonts, right? Until you find one that works. What about the process of building this app?
What was very different about this, it was the fact that I'm kind of trying to build up a Mac application. Usually I believe like I would have to spend some time to do the setup, to do it properly as a macOS app rather than like a web app or something. It was really fun because just like I don't see code. I only focus the way Glaze works. I only focus on prompting correctly. But also kind of really for me, like I haven't really done much in terms of macOS design. So for me, it was just like an opportunity to really quickly jump into macOS design without like researching the patterns, looking through the documentation, because it would actually throw a lot of patterns to me, which is like, oh, great, this is great. So I kind of studied some of the macOS design patterns that I wasn't like so aware of. So that was quite educational. But also, as I was vibe coding this, one of the parts that I really enjoyed was like just using shortcuts and just like alternative means to control the application rather than just like, it was almost like a gem. I ended up building a lot of shortcuts to control the UI, which I wouldn't usually do.
Do you have any tips for building with Glaze?
I think I overinvested initially to transitions. So transitions are quite specific subject. I realized as I was building it, and like usually designing experiences on, I don't know, like on products, you become quite hungry to build up cool transitions. And I think I've got a bit overwhelmed and I've started doing too much. I would slow down on this. Like I started and I was like, oh, can I do a transition? Can I transition from one screen to another and so on and so on? And it worked, but I think I got too carried away. And then in the end, I ended up stripping most of the transitions and making them super subtle because like it was starting to affect like performance slightly, but also it became like inconsistent. And then I also realized actually looking closer to macOS applications, they're much, much, much more subtle in terms of transitions. They're almost non-existent. So that's kind of my main takeaway for myself. And like, you know, it also takes a lot of time to build them. So like I would go more subtle on transitions first.
And when you say transitions, you're talking about like these subtle animations between different states and different views and stuff.
And obviously like controlling your scope is important as well, because it's very easy to get carried away. And I started with one feature and then came up with another one, another. And then at some point I was like, okay, hold on a second, I have to prioritize.
It's too easy to add features, right?
In the end, I ended up, okay, I'm not going to build this for a first version, otherwise I'll never publish the app. And then actually polishing it, I realized that reserving some time to do the polish is really important. And I think because it's actually easier for a designer to polish it, but it still takes time.
This was Font Finder by Alexander, and he built all of that without writing a single line of code. If you also want to build your ideal Mac app, then head over to glaze.app to get started.